Hi, I'm Rick Mitchell, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about effective negotiation. You know, back in the old days, certainly in the litigation context, we didn't have a lot of mediation, we didn't have a lot of negotiation. The lawyers went into the hallway at the courthouse, they either settled the case or they went in and tried it. Those were the days before mediation. Now, courts will order you to mediation 2, 3, 4 times until you get the case settled. And if that doesn't work, the court will try to settle it. And that's why we try so few cases anymore. But there are certain contexts and certain rules that I think are applicable to negotiating any deal, and it can be in litigation, it can be transactional, whatever negotiation you're involved in. If you really look and go do a search on the web, there's all kinds of articles about negotiating tactics and things you need to have, communication skills, listen, be prepared to compromise, be prepared to work together. Those things are all important, and they're fundamental. They're fundamental to pretty much every aspect of the practice of law, the practice of business, the practice of life. I believe there are really, in addition to those necessary skills, preparation is essential. And I believe that in preparation, there are really 4 questions that I think are really critical to answer in order to get to the end of the deal and get what you want out of the deal. The first 2 questions are pretty easy. What do I actually want? And what is my walkaway? What can I not live without? The second 2 questions are a little tougher. What does the other side actually want? And what is the other side's walkaway? What can they not live without? Now, those 2 really require some thought, and they require preparation, but I think that it is essential to know the answers to those 4 questions, to have your game plan when you enter a negotiation. A lot of times you're negotiating over money, but you're also negotiating over non-monetary terms. And there may be something you want, but you could live without. Something the other side really wants but can't live without that's maybe not quite so important to you. And the converse is also true. These are all bargaining chips. When you figure out what those things are, you're ready to start talking. That's not the end of the discussion, that's the beginning of the discussion. And I think through years I've developed this theory that those questions must be answered in order to really effectively negotiate a deal that everyone can live with. Not necessarily one that everybody's thrilled with, because not everybody's going to get everything they want. In fact, nobody's going to get everything they want most of the time. But if you're doing it right, you're in a better position at the end of the deal than you were at the beginning of the day. So those are my thoughts. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and thank you for your time.